Mountain Ops has been a part of our crew from the beginning. Ignite is our go-to for energy. Ignite delivers smooth, long-lasting, great-tasting energy and improves cognitive function for hours, providing a clean and healthy energy alternative to help you conquer the day. Jumpstart your day or anytime you need a boost. The Operation Conquer Hunger team works with charity partners. Every time a purchase is made, a nutritious meal is prepared for families in need. Visit mountainops.com today to order yours. Jordan, you supposed to have been on the show probably a year ago. You finally made it on. We've been going back and forth. You're supposed to have been here, like I said, a year ago. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, life is life, Sometimes there's times where you're open and then the. Person's not open. But I'm glad to be here and I'm very excited and I'm very happy for you. I love this and let's get into it.
Yeah, so Jordan, how'd you get into hunting? Who got you into it? Did you do it on your own? Where was it?
No, hunting is a very, very family thing for us, for my family. Um, I basically come out of the womb with a shotgun in my hand. You have them split memories that when you're 4 or 5 years old and you're going sitting in a box stand with your dad or back in the day, we run dogs a lot, run deer dogs, and we would ride in the truck and a CB radio blaring, everybody hollering big buck, and we're driving fast down these dirt roads and the dogs are blaring. That was my first memory, of any kind of hunting. And then, of course, get into squirrel hunting, and that's kind of where younger kids start. They get into squirrel hunting, get your first gun, and also dove hunting was a big thing for us. My uncle had a big lease down Mississippi Delta, and we would go dove hunting, and I'll never forget. I mean, the youth model 20 gauge that I have, that was my first gun. And my dad bought that for me. And we went down to the Mississippi Delta on that lease to dove hunt. And I'll never forget the first dove I shot off a power line sitting in the back of the truck. But as it's a family thing for me. Getting into hunting. I've always been a part of it, and it's always been a part of my family.
Yeah, I remember Chance was telling the story when we went down there turkey hunting, and he's like, "Yeah, Jordan came by duck hunting, and he brought this youth model 20. There ain't no way he's gonna kill ducks." And then he smokes the first two. So I mean, it doesn't matter really what you shoot. I mean, it's the person shooting the gun.
Man, I tell you what, youth model 20 gauge, that is my ride or die. I've killed turkeys with it. I've killed ducks with it. I've killed deer with it. I mean, it all is. I'm not saying I'm the perfect shot, but if you figure out how to shoot a gun, whatever gun it may be, you know how to shoot it.
Yeah, for sure. So, what would you say your favorite thing to hunt is?
I used to be. I'm a very avid deer hunter. I love deer hunting. Been out of state deer hunting. I mean, I like to chase big bucks, but the last few years, and also I was a big duck hunter. I used to do the whole get up at midnight and be at the boat launch before everybody else and be on a WMA at the exact time they let you be. But the last few years, man, the turkeys really have a hold of me. It's nothing like going out there watching the woods wake up, knowing at any second that Tom is going to gobble on the limb. So I would say my favorite hunting at this point in my life is definitely a turkey.
And it's fitting that you say that because it is Turkey Week for most of the country around here. With you being living in Pennsylvania now, I mean, y'all season doesn't open up for another month. Do you have any plans of maybe visiting neighboring states and trying to get a hold of a couple of gobblers?
Yeah, I definitely do. Like you said, Pennsylvania opens a little later. I think we open May 2nd this year. And I mean, I sent you a video today of a Tom, at our yard that's just coming out with hens, and he's strutting and gobbling. And I mean, it's early, but it's not. Like you said, I moved to Pennsylvania, and I'm probably an hour away from public land on Ohio and West Virginia. So I've kind of gotten lucky also because I'm still a resident of Ohio. Ohio out of state is almost $400 now, but my turkey license is $31 to be, a Ohio resident. So this year my plan, work dependent, is try to hit Ohio and try to fill my Ohio tag, and then go to West Virginia, which opens the following weekend, and their out of state is around 200. And if I can fill that tag, then of course Pennsylvania, which is, I think it's around 200 also. So my plan this year is try to hit all three states.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, you're still a Ohio resident because you haven't officially moved to Pennsylvania. I mean, you're really just traveling back and forth for work. Uh, so that'll be a great opportunity to try to get that last Ohio tag cheap for sure. But backtracking that though, growing up in Louisiana, I mean, you moved to Ohio, and now you're transitioning and moving into Pennsylvania. How has that helped or hurt, your hunting opportunities and these past couple of years of moving state to state?
I've definitely learned a lot. Um, Louisiana, if you've ever been to Louisiana, and which I know you have, um, you got some rolling hills, and it's basically straight pine thickets. I mean, it's a lot different hunting in Louisiana than it is these northeastern states. And I've learned a lot. And to take what I've learned from these northeastern states to go to Louisiana, there's a lot more hunting pressure. There's a lot more people out that hunt, in them southern states. But I've learned enough to where, your funnels, your rut funnels, as far as deer hunting, your rut funnels and stuff, they're a little smaller in Louisiana, but it's all the same thing. And if you're, familiar with a topo map and you can find those funnels, your success level goes, a lot higher. But as far as learning up, these northern states, it's hard hunting. I mean, it's not rolling hills no more. It's mountains. It's your high walls that you get to, and you want to get to this spot, but you have to walk a mile to your east or a mile to your west to get around to it. I've learned a lot of the northern states, but if you can get to it, it's a lot better hunting. It's a lot more quality quality hunting than it is in your southern states.
So, like you talked about, you hunt out of state, even when you was living in Louisiana. Would you say Louisiana is one of the hardest states you think to hunt in? I know people come down here and have success, but as far as a whole, with the public land situation and how many out of state hunters and even in state hunters there are on these public lands, do you think it's harder, or do you think up north is a little harder?
It's definitely harder in any southern state. You know, Louisiana, Texas, and I'm talking public land. Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama. Your public land hunting down there is definitely, in my opinion, a lot. A lot harder to me.
I mean, me and you went up to work in Kentucky for a couple of times. We hunted it. We hunted it pretty hard, and we barely saw anybody. We saw people maybe squirrel hunting or running a dog. I don't know if there's rabbit hunting or something like that. But as far as bow hunters, there was none. I never ran into one. It's just it's different because I figured that it'd be packed just like Louisiana, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you run into a handful of hunters up here. I mean, as far as the majority of the season, you don't see a whole lot of hunters. Now, when the rut comes, you'll see a lot, but they're coming on their so-called rutcation, And then you kind of run into a lot of people.
So being up there, have you kind of found out why that is? I mean, why aren't these people hunting? I mean, they're living, working in prime hunting land, hunting places. Why aren't these people hunting?
I think when you get up these northern states and stuff, it also, I mean, there's probably more people hunting than you think, but they have a lot of private land too. And you can only, in Ohio, you can only kill one buck. Me and you, from where we come from in Louisiana, we can kill 3 bucks, which that's a whole different subject we could get on.
We still have 160-inch deer walking around. We see them killed every year and brought to Simmons Sporting Goods up in Bastrop for the big buck contest. So I mean, they're in there, but it's not like up north. I mean, when we were in Kentucky, people were letting 150, 160-inch walk and showing us videos of him standing out there saying, "I'm gonna let him wait another year for a 150 class deer."
Right. Yeah. From being from Louisiana, and I think you'd be the same way. If a 150-inch deer walks by me, private, public, it don't matter. He's in trouble. Louisiana still has quality deer. I mean, my brother-in-law, what was this, 4 or 5 years ago? He killed a 172-inch deer on public land in Louisiana with his rifle. You don't see that very often. If somebody kills a 140-inch deer in Louisiana on public or private, that's a dang good deer. They cut the dog running out. If any of you know what I'm saying by dog running, you get a pack of walker dogs and you turn a pack of walker dogs out and they get on a deer trail and they run them and you line up this block of woods with your standards, and when the deer comes out in front of somebody, they shoot him. You know, it was a heritage of mine, and I loved it. But as far as the quality of deer, once they cut it out, it skyrocketed. You know, and like I said, he killed that deer 4 or 5 years ago, and I think they cut out the public land dog running probably 8 or 9 years ago. He'd have never killed that deer if you could still run dogs.
No, 100%. I mean, and how you attest to you growing up. I mean, I can still remember being in the passenger seat with that CB radio going, and they're just calling out all kind of different names that have nothing to do with the area that we're in, but everybody has their nicknames for that spot, right? It's just something about them dogs though too. I mean, hearing them dogs run and it's uh it's something special, and people that will never get to see it like like it used to be. Sorry for the audience. We're kind of jumping around a little bit. It's really because me and Jordan has talked so much over the years that every story that we tell is not a new story to us. So we apologize for that. But let's talk about that them duck hunts down in South Texas.
Oh man, yeah, the duck hunts in South Texas, and me and Taylor both. We're big duck hunters. But going down there in South Texas, we were both there. We met this guy. He's a really great dude. He is. Um, and I think over the years, you and Chance have grown pretty close.
Yeah, we've been on multiple hunts. We've had the last 3 season opening day duck season. This past season for Texas opening weekend of turkey. Went down there multiple times turkey hunting. No, he's a great dude. Anybody that's ever met Chance, I mean, he's not gonna have a bad attitude. You're not gonna have a dull time. He's ready to rock and roll. So, I mean, if anybody ever gets a chance to meet Chance, you're gonna have a great time for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, that's what we did. We met him. Um, I think Taylor knew him a little bit, and then I met him, and I started talking to him, and he's a big duck hunter. I used to be a big duck hunter. I kind of got out of it a little bit, kind of tired of the hassle of getting up at midnight and all that stuff. Like I mentioned earlier. But he invited me to go duck hunting with him. And if you know South Texas duck hunting, you're driving straight through the marsh. I mean, that's what you're in. So I meet him at his house. We load up the little John boat, hook it up, and we go to the launch. Where we're supposed to go for the gadwall hunt, and the boat won't crank. We fight it and we fight it and we fight it. Can't get it cranked. It's probably at this time when we make the decision, it's 30 or 45 minutes before shooting time. And he said, we're just going to get the bay boat. We're going across the bay and we're going to get in a freshwater pocket. And it was new for me because I'm a little pocket hunter. I'm looking for mallards and gray ducks and teal. And so we jump in this bay boat and we're hauling butt across the bay. So we get to this spot and he's like, all right, we're here. And I'm like, what do you mean we're here? There's nothing here. So we pull up and we park the boat. And as far as me trying to kill mallards and gray ducks, you have this big, huge white bay boat sitting here. Well, we're
Hmm.
not covering it up. We're not doing nothing. He's like, all right, we got to walk out here about 300 yards, and there's a little pond. And I mean, at this time, it's breaking daylight and there's ducks flying. And if you know me, when there's ducks flying, I'm finna start shooting. So we walk over here, we carry all our decoys, our gun bags, our shell. We get to this hole, and it's a 80 by 80 yard little pocket of water. We get in there, and finally we're set up. And I'm talking about instantly, there was a group of, I don't know, 4 or 5 gadwall just hit the hole. Boom, boom. We shot, killed. We're all still loading our guns at the time. We shot and killed 2 or 3, but I never killed a pintail. And when I got out there and the pintail that were flying, man, it was crazy. And the first group of pintail that comes in, and we talked about my little youth model 20 gauge, that Chance was like, man, what is he doing with this? Well, 2 pintail hit the hole. There was a group of 4. 2 pintail hit the hole. 2 pintail died. And I looked up, and there was 2 above us. I mean, it was probably, not exaggerating, it was probably a 50 or 60 yard shot straight above us with a youth model 20 gauge. And I killed 1 out of it. I think I shot twice. I think I missed him the first time, and I hit him the second time. And by the time he hit the water, I think I was already racking another shell in my gun. And I went out there, or I didn't go out there. His brother waited out there and picked that duck up. When he come back, they were talking about, oh my gosh, he's got a sprig, like you'll never believe. And like I said, I mean, I've never killed a pintail, so I didn't know what a big sprig was. And after 3 or 4 different hunts, the pintails that we killed, it was a big bull sprig.
No, it by far. I mean, I got one mounted on my wall that I killed down there in South Texas with you, and I mean he's a good size, but yours got him beat by probably at least at the minimum 2 inches.
I mean, it's definitely a different type of duck hunting, but it's something that I think everyone should experience at least one time.
And it's the variety. I mean, it's not just you know if this past year. I mean, we shot our mallards, we shot some pintail, we shot some ringnecks. Of course, our wood ducks, a little bit of gadwall. That's pretty much it. But if you go down south, you ain't killing wood ducks, you ain't killing mallards. Now, I've heard
Correct.
some stories of people killing some mallards, but when you go down there, there ain't no telling. You're getting your blue wing even in November. Blue wing, green wing, which we kill some green wing. Redheads, I mean, you're killing Mexican whistling ducks, black ducks, mottled ducks. I mean, there's no telling what you're going to see that day, and that's what's intriguing. I mean, we killed, and I beat myself up for not just saying, "Hey, I'll take it." Don't know if I shot it or not because when you got 8 people in the blind and a couple of ducks come in, you really do not. I mean, you pull the trigger and it falls. So if everybody pulls the trigger and it falls and they think they killed it, who really killed it? But we killed a bull widgeon, and I really wish at least somebody would have got that widgeon mounted because that sucker was huge.
Yeah, that's another thing you can kill down there in the marsh in South Texas. You can kill some widgeon too. And talking about, you brought the redheads up, down there for them in South Texas, shooting redheads is like shooting wood ducks in North Louisiana.
Turkey season is just around the corner, and First Light has you covered. First Light makes it easy to find the right gear for the right pursuit. On the menu tab, click the Pursuit tab to find your next hunting gear easily. From hot southern states to the Rocky Mountains, visit firstlight.com today. Now back to the podcast. So Jordan, for 2026, I mean, it's just now turkey season. What kind of plans do you have? What does the rest of the year look like?
I mean, the rest of the year, my plan, after turkey season wraps up and we get into the summer months, I'm probably going to look at buying, a little, a smaller boat with a 9.9 and set it up. Maybe get a graph and all on it, and probably going to look at trying to catch some of them white perch.
So by that time, you're really going to be living in Pennsylvania. When does their bow season start?
Pennsylvania bow season starts. I think it's the last weekend of September. And I know, if you're a straight archery hunter, I mean, hats off to you. I do love going out there with a rifle and knowing if a 140-inch deer walks out at 150 yards, I can shoot him.
It's just kind of frustrating, you get that one weekend, my work schedule, and it's not nobody else's fault, right? But sometimes I don't get that first weekend. If I don't get that first weekend, anybody can go. It's pretty much gun hunting after that. I mean, you got your youth and veteran weekend, and you got your right after that is your rifle weekend. So you really only got, I think it's about 10 days, but it's really, it puts a lot of pressure on you, man. But if you really want to feel pressure, I put in, and I'm pretty much gonna get it, my mule deer tag for this year because I haven't drawn in a couple of years. But my mule deer tag in Colorado, you only get 4 days to make it happen. And if that ain't enough pressure, then I don't know what is, because you get 4 days out of state. Now I do have a buddy that lives up there, knows the land, but you still have to find that deer and make that shot. And you only get 4 days to do it. And then like Colorado, you got to draw. Louisiana don't have to draw. Colorado, you got to draw. Even residents have to draw. So you got to already know in April 7th, you got to have your stuff put in to pick a unit to hunt for 4 days. And you got to pick which season that is. First rifle, second rifle, third rifle, fourth rifle. So you have to already plan, hey, I'm going to be in Colorado that week. And like I did last year, I ate my $800 tag because I was unable to go up there in the little time frame that I was given.
Yeah, no, I mean, you talk about Colorado and your out of state stuff. I'm kind of curious. We have some buddies, that go to Kansas basically every year. Jake, he's been on the podcast. What's your 26th season? What's your plans right now?
So my plans, we're sitting here middle of turkey week. Turkey season opens up Saturday. There's a rainstorm. Saturday morning, the rain is supposed to clear out until about lunch. So I figure that about all 30,000 people are going to be in the woods, probably exactly where I want to be at.
I mean, just the 30,000 people that's going to be hunting the public land that you're on.
Yeah, just the 30,000 that's going hunting with me. Uh, and I try to keep I try to keep stickers off my truck. I always have been that way because, hey, that truck has been in here for a week. No, I don't want that. I already drive a F-250, so I mean, there's not too many F-250s turkey hunting. But no, I'll put in for mule deer. I got some preference points for black bear and pronghorn that I'm gonna save. Uh, I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do a duck hunt up there. So no, if that'll wrap up my September as far as elk hunting. I'll go for probably 10 days. The good Lord willing, I'll go for 10 days. Fast forward to October, I'll probably bow hunt whitetail in Louisiana. Not really much going on there. Just try to get meat on the in the freezer. And then November happens, but I definitely want to either come to Ohio or Pennsylvania. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, you're close enough to where, it doesn't matter. Uh, but end of November, middle of November, I'll start duck hunting. But I will take that week off right before the split and go try to get me a mule deer on the wall. Um, Other than that, once I get past that mule deer hunt, if I got whitetail in the freezer, it's gonna be strictly duck hunting. I'll duck hunt South Texas and Louisiana, Probably go back up to Oklahoma, and like I said, try to hit Colorado. And man, that'll be it. I'm not big on snow goose hunting only because I just I don't have the contacts, for that. And it's already starting to get turnaround season for work, so I probably won't snow goose hunt. But other than that, man, it'll be turkeys this weekend throughout. Texas goes a little long, so I'll probably try to go back down to Texas, try to kill another Rio, and then it'll be fishing through the summer, elk, whitetail, ducks, and we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you, I mean, another thing you ought to maybe try to throw in your agenda. I'm getting into the goose hunting up here.
So, man, I would love to do that. Like I said, I just don't have the connections for it. And it doesn't have to be a conservation hunt. We ran into some Canadians in Oklahoma to where Logan drove 2 hours to Bass Pro in Oklahoma City just to buy Canadian decoys. That's how many there were.
Yeah, I got a guy that I met here I work with, and that's what he does. He does the Canadians, the Westers and Canadians up here in these cornfields and bean fields. So I mean that's my plan. You know, they have an early season to start. I think last year was September 9th. So it's early September until basically after New Year's.
Well, look, I'm definitely interested in that. I mean, if you need any help or guidance, I mean, we're starting to build this brand a little bit, so I mean, we do have connections. So if you need any help at all, I mean, I'm definitely in on it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the plan, is get into it, find some land. I know First Light's got some really good clothing and everything, and that's kind of the gist of it is layouts, warm clothing, and a shotgun.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, I mean, everybody's got their own cup of tea. I've been, real tree and mossy oak, just being from the South. Uh, but I was already using First Light gear. Uh, I bought it because my buddies were using it, and I saw what they had, and I said, well, let me try some. And I tried it down here, and man, that First Light stuff, especially in the South, is so underrated in the South. I mean, once you get to the Western states and stuff like that, it's the brand. But down here in the South, I'll tell you that you don't have to put no layers on. I I didn't put my big jacket on not one time because how their layering system is and their technology. This hoodie I use for turkey season, it's 40 degree. It was 40 degrees last weekend with 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it gets up to 70, 80 after lunch. Well, in that technology, it regulates your heat. So if it's cold outside, it tries to retain it, and if it's hot, it releases it. You can really buy just like one or two, and you have a whole setup that you can use for the whole year. But man, I mean, we got tons of stories coming up. But just between me and you, we ain't even touched the surface on deer hunting, turkey hunting, duck hunting. I mean, we do it all. We'll have more stories to come out about this turkey week for at least us down here in most states. And like you said, you could hunt Ohio next week if you wanted to. Jordan, I appreciate you coming on. We've been friends for a long time. You've been with me from the beginning almost, especially at least bow hunting wise goes. And I appreciate you. Can't wait to have you on again, and just keep staying rugged, man.
Yeah, and never forget, stay rugged, aim small, miss small. Good luck on your turkey season, and good luck on your 26.
I appreciate it, brother.